The change of the industrial relations and the uneven territorial development contribute to the social marginalization of Roma communities in the Baia Mare area. Together with the FAFO Institute in Norway, Dr. Vincze aims to improve a comprehensive understanding of the living and working conditions of Roma people. Keep watching Research in the Spotlight to discover how this research will provide the groundwork for creating a collaborative network of people for the betterment of the most distressed ethnic minorities in Romania. Currently, you are implementing a collaborative research project funded under the Norway Grants. How did the idea of this project come about?
Our research promises to focus on specific socio-economic practices of Roma from Romania. But we are dealing with how Roma communities were impacted by large socio-economic processes such as industrialization, deindustrialization, and more recent reindustrialization. And also we compare Roma population with Romanians and Hungarians to see, to understand better the factors which contributed to the formation of inequalities and injustices in different situations. We are also addressing the issue of migration, labor, housing, and migration. And in this sense, it's very important to us to have the Norwegian partner from FAFO Institute, who are having a contribution to the project from the perspective of Romanian immigrants to Norway. So, the idea came from this conviction that these issues are very critical nowadays and they must be addressed by the means of an interdisciplinary research and also transnational perspective.
Are there any partial results that you would like to speak so far?
We are about finishing the second year of our project, and we already completed our fieldwork. We are doing fieldwork in the city of Baia Mare and the larger region, respectively Maramureș County. And our fieldwork included observations across the city and across the county, observation in what regards the built environment, because we are also dealing with housing issues and how different districts developed in Baia Mare in time and how they look like nowadays. We also conducted interviews with Roma people living in precarious conditions, including informal settlements, but not only, blocks of social housing and different sorts of housing arrangements. Obviously, we have interviews with Romanians and Hungarians living in different districts of Baia Mare to understand their trajectories of housing and also labor, because we recognize that in what regards, for example, the housing situation of a person, that depends very much of his or her position on the labor market. Then we conducted interviews with representatives of public institutions, like architects, city planners, but also former architects who played a role in planning, in the planning process and in the process of constructing Baia Mare before 1990. So we covered a whole range of people and perspectives to understand these complicated phenomena from different points of views. Then we conducted research in archive. We have historians in our group who want to have a contribution from understanding from old documents what happened in terms of labor, housing matters after 1950s. Basically, we are covering the period of state socialism, basically, and talking about industrialization and its impact and how industrialization changed the face of Baia Mare altogether, increasing its population and obviously increasing its built environment and changing it totally. Then we also collected secondary statistics, to have this larger political economy, understanding about the context which impacted people in their everyday life. We also conducted a small survey, which is representative for the more marginalized and precarious districts of Baia Mare. Besides this fieldwork and empirical research, we contacted many public institutions and also some CEOs from local enterprises, because we are also looking to how reindustrialization happens nowadays, how new jobs were created and what kinds of jobs, and how industrial production functions today. It functions totally different. We don't have anymore the big industrial giants that we had before 1990. We have a smaller amount of employees in this field. And also it's also good to notice for the larger public, it's that nowadays industrial production functions totally differently, because in the smaller manufacturers units, people produce small elements, parts of a larger flux of production. And we had these collaborative workshops, we call them, with these people from institutions and other stakeholders, also from NGOs, to first we presented them our research, and then we just came back from Baia Mare from such a workshop where we tried to get some feedback from them. Then we participated on, 10, 12 international conferences already, which is also part of our project, because it helps us to go through the writing process, because at the end of the day, this being an academic project, we need to publish. We promised English language volume, a collective volume, and then a volume in Romanian, which will reflect basically very different aspects and parts of our research, including interviews, photos, documents from archives, so on and so forth. And we also have to publish in journals, in academic journals. So we did what we had to do until now, and we are looking forward for the last year.
Which is the main social impact of your project?
Since we cover these three big issues, housing, labor, and migration, obviously we discovered different problems in each sector, In terms of housing, for example, which is my topic in particular, we would like to present to the local authorities what we learned about their housing policies and also social housing policies, and also to share with them what we learned from people's experiences about evictions and about conditions of living in informal settlements. Actually, obviously the City Hall has no obligation to listen to our results or recommendations that we also want to formulate to them. But hopefully, as far we have good working relation with people from the City Hall, and they look to be open. So maybe this will create the possibility, for us to have an impact through them, because directly we don't have the means to change the life conditions or housing conditions of people, but through these local authorities who do have the power and instruments for decision making, which might contribute to the improvement of housing conditions of everybody in the city. Then in terms of labor, there it's even more complicated there to have an impact, because what we observe is that people who are working in these new industries and working for a minimum income, usually they perform very difficult jobs, and the working conditions are maybe not so good. Many of them are commuting, so they spend a lot of time, to go back and forth from the city. But there, you have to discuss with the owners of these factories or the CEOs, and obviously they have their own logic of production and profit making. So it's hard to believe that our findings will change their way of doing business. Nevertheless, we will do that. So on each topic, actually, we also analyze the policies, and we also will make policy recommendations. So unfortunately, in a more direct way through this project, we cannot be more helpful to people, and I'm referring here mostly to Roma people who are living in precarious conditions in these informal settlements, which are stigmatized and do not have basic conditions. But therefore it's great to see. So at least what we can do is to record their experiences and to create channels through which their voice might be heard. Yeah. And this is part, yes, as you said, of raising awareness about these problems. And actually, I guess this is the most that an academic may do if they don't, go beyond the limits of an academic research towards activism or other kinds of actions.
We are discussing a collaborative project involving a team of researchers with various backgrounds and an international partnership with a prestigious institute in Norway. What does it mean to you and the team you coordinate such a partnership with, and what are the benefits?
It would be difficult to make such a complex project on your own. So having a team and having a multidisciplinary perspective, it's crucial for such an effort. In addition, our Norwegian partner, as I said, it's not only about the fact that they bring into this perspective of Romanian immigrants to Norway, but it's also about, changing research experiences and supporting each other in publications. Because, unfortunately, the Romanian academic publication practices are still lagging beyond, and it's not easy for Romanians to publish in prestigious foreign journals. There is a language barrier. There is a particular, way to be recognized in those spheres. So basically, academically speaking, it's a great benefit for all of us, and we can only hope that it will have a contribution to distribute, knowledge about these big social issues and its causes, but that we could discover in this research.
In the end, what should people remember about your project?
People generally, they are academics who should hopefully remember our analysis. They are people who are having a leading role in authorities and in different, productive units across Baia Mare. Hopefully they will not forget what we discussed together. And then there are also the people whom we met in the city in different socioeconomic positions. I guess, our main message for everybody is to this call to understand the complexities of what is happening nowadays in Romania. to recognize that these more than 30 years of capitalism that we are into in our country actually changed a lot in each corner of the country and in each domain of life. And everybody should be aware about the responsibilities of the state, the responsibilities of the market, but also the responsibilities of the individuals, in what regards what actually is happening.
Thank you for watching Research in the Spotlight, a podcast for scientists and passionate science people made under the Norway Grants research program by the Executive Agency for Higher Education, Research, Development and Innovation Funding as program operator. Until the next time, like and share this episode if you think science is a key to a better future.